Hi, well I thought I would record a really quick video on how it is that we can use Microsoft Forms to make a quiz. So here we are, and basically what I want to show you is that Forms has quiz features built in that make including math questions really easy. See how well scripted this is? I've really planned this in advance. So let's take a look here. So here we have the base page for Forms, and everyone will get there a little differently. If you're in the DSPN, if you're in my school board, one of the options is just to go to office.dspn.org and click Forms. Once you're in Microsoft Forms, we can say a new quiz. And you want to make sure that you pick new quiz and not new form, because quiz has grading features, which is going to make your life a lot easier. So here we go, and now we have our untitled quiz, and so I could say math practice quiz. And I could obviously give it whatever name I like. And from here, you can make any kind of questions you like. So the first obvious one would be a multiple choice question. And one of the options you'll see down here, and you're going to want to use this, is math. And math is nice because now you have this math equation editor here. So you could say solve the following equation for x. And then we could say, 3x plus 5 is equal to 17. And first of all, for simple questions, Microsoft will actually automatically generate possible answers for you, which is delightful. And you can just say, yeah, add all those, and it knows the correct answer. Pretty cool. And if you click here where it says preview, it'll show you what that looks like to the student, and you can see it's a nice clean interface. So those are fairly easy questions to do. Now, you may not want to give them multiple choice. You may want them to have to enter their answer. And by the way, look how it now is starting to suggest the types of questions you might be doing. So if it knows that, we're solving equations here, it's actually going to recommend questions like that. But I want to do something a little different. Maybe in this case, I want to do a similar question, but this time I want them to have to type the answer in. Now again, I'm going to go down here and make sure it's still in math mode, which it is. Which value of x satisfies the following equation? And we can do another one. We could say 2x plus 9 equals, 21. And one of the things we can do is we could say, we can put restrictions on the answer. So the problem with this is now if I wanted to start adding correct answers, I'd have to say x equals 6 might be one of the answers, just 6 might be one of the answers, and really that's all it. And now let me show you that again just to show quickly. Down here where it says correct answers, you can add answers so that it will automatically grade them. And I could say x equals 6 is a correct answer, and I could say just 6 is a correct answer. But what if they put the number is 6 and then I'm out of luck? So another option you could do is you could restrict the answer. You could say, all that's allowed is numbers. And that way they won't be able to put words in. And that way all they could do is put the number. I forgot to mention points, but I'm going to say that this first question is worth 1 point. And this next question is worth 1 point. I won't belabor this too long. You can see that this gives you some nice options, but there's a couple other features that I really like. One is that you can add a picture. So I could go into OneNote, though I could just as easily grab pictures off the internet, but I could draw a triangle like that, and I could say that this is 30 centimeters, this is 40 centimeters, and I could just quickly take a picture of that. I'm using the snipping tool, but however you want to get a picture is fine. And I'm going to take this and save it. Again, you could just as easily download a picture off the internet, and I think you can even link to pictures on the internet. In fact, I know you can. And so I can go here and say, what is the length of the unknown side of this triangle? And I can click here where it says picture. I can say image. I could search for one. I could grab one from my OneDrive. In my case, I'm going to upload one. And I think I called it Practice Quiz 1. And my internet is astonishingly slow today, so it's going to take a minute, but it'll get there. In fact, I'm recording this instead of streaming it directly like I normally do because the internet's just astonishingly slow. But obviously with 40 cm and 30 cm, our correct answer would be 50 cm. And I might take it as 50 space centimeters. I would take it as just 50. Any of the above, though again, if you want to make your life easy, you could restrict the answer and just put a number there. In this case, I kind of like the idea of making students type the units, so I'm going to accept any of those. That image will upload, I promise. Another thing you could do, you can get kind of creative with these. So there are other options there. One of the options is file upload, and that can include a picture. And it's going to say it's got to make a folder for this, and you can say, yeah, that's okay. And I could say, use the array model to expand the following. Take a photo of your work and upload it here. And then I could say, okay, I'm going to limit them to pictures. So I could say file type, and I just want images and one picture. And then we want the actual, we'll say x plus 3 times x minus 4. And now, hey, look, my picture showed up. So there's that. And then in this case, it'll actually want them to upload a photo to that. You can see we could keep going here. I have you can kind of even find question types that maybe weren't originally intended. One I might do is I could take a right-angled triangle, and if I am working on trigonometry and I want them to be able to identify sides, I could say, we'll highlight this side yellow, highlight this side blue, and that pink is not very nice. Maybe if we did a green. And highlighted this side green. I could photograph that and save that photo. Oh, not that one. That one. And save that photo as Practice Quiz 2. And this is kind of a neat question. I saw somebody come up with this, but a Likert scale is normally where you would say, oh, agree strongly, agree somewhat, neutral, disagree strongly, whatever. But instead I could say identify, or, what is the name of each side of the triangle shown here based on the angle theta. And I could even, if I were feeling creative, find and copy and paste the theta symbol, but I'm not feeling that creative. And we'll upload this image again, and I'm sure it's going to take forever again because my internet is deadly slow. But if we look, the green one is the adjacent. So I could say green, yellow, and what? Blue? And then one of these is the opposite. Let's make sure I don't just straight up label it the same way. Opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. Now the only thing with a question like this, all the other questions, these first two it can automatically mark, first three. This fourth question, this fifth question, I'm going to have to mark, but I'll show you in a minute how easy that is to do. It really is very straightforward. So those are the types of questions you could do. It also has a feature that I really like, which is ranking. And so you could say, order these from longest to shortest in length. And now we can put an option here in order. Oh, good, that picture showed up. And so I could say from longest to shortest. So I could say 5 feet 3 inches, 63 inches, and then I could say 58 inches, and then I could say 4 foot 9 inches, 42 inches, and 3 feet 4 inches. Okay. Hopefully I haven't made that mistake myself. But now, the question they have is just to put these in order, from the longest to the shortest. And maybe, because this could be a little confusing, there we go. So now I've made my quiz, and I can preview it here, and click that, and I can see the questions. Note, this is exactly what your students will see. You can change the themes and add pictures and images and do all kinds of fancy things. One of the things you'll notice is that next to each question is a little button like this, and it will actually read the question to them.
1. Solve the following equation for x. 1 point. 3 times plus 5 is equal to 17. X equals 4. X equals 7. X equals 5. X equals 9. End of question. Close the reader to input your answer.
Wow, so that actually read the question not only wrong, but in a way that is totally false. 3 times positive 5 is 15, but that's okay. So the immersive reader needs a bit of love, but you can see exactly how they'll see it. And I just wanted to show you quickly, like with the Likert scale here, I could say, oh, the green is the adjacent, the yellow is the opposite, and the blue is the hypotenuse, and I could pick those like that. Order from shortest to longest, it's put them in random order. So you can see here, so I'd have to know that 4 foot 9 is less than 5 foot 3, 58. Oh, she died. That's 47, we're good. That's 42, and that's 40. There we go. And so they would have those options here. I suppose I should fill these in. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 5 is 17. 2 times 6. How long is this? It's 50 centimeters. And I could take a photo here. It's especially great if they're doing this on their phone, because when you click upload file, one of the options it gives you there is use your camera. I'm on a computer, so it just wants me to upload a picture. And I'm going to upload whatever quiz with an s2.png is, just to show that I can upload a folder. And again, my internet's astonishingly slow, so that took a while, but there we go. I can click submit. And when I click submit, there it is, I can view my results. And it'll score what can be automatically scored. So it tells me that I'm right here, that I'm right there, that I'm right here. And then these questions, it doesn't show I'm wrong, it just shows that it's indeterminate. And that's because the teacher will have to go through and mark it. So there we go. And it marked that as correct. On the teacher side, when you've made your form, I can send it to students by clicking share. And it gives me a link here that I can send out. I can also share to collaborate, which means that I can share this with another person who will be able to edit it. I can also share a duplicate link to it, so that I could share you a link so that it will make a copy of it for you. You can get a QR code if you want the embed code, or you can send it off as an email. Once students have filled it out, you can click your responses and it will show answers. This one doesn't have any answers on it, So I'll quickly open one that does, just so you can see what marking it looks like. This is a biology quiz. And if we go to responses, it gives us a nice form here where it shows us people's answers visually. But to actually review their answers, you can click Review Answers, and you can go through student by student and look at their answers. But you can also go through question by question, where if I do this, I can mark the whole class at once, because for question 1, it shows me all of the answers, and I can pick the grading I want. Same for question 2. Same for question 3. Same for question 4, and I can look at every answer they've provided and decide what I like. The in order question is just automatically marked, so it doesn't give me any options for that. Same with the Likert question. That is one disadvantage, where for the Likert scale, the one where you had to click the dots to make it match, you have to mark that automatically. Upload a picture. Well, you can see here that it actually gives me each photo. I wish it just showed the pictures here, but it's a one-click special. You click it, and it shows you what you're working on, and you can give it the points you want. So, pretty quick. So, anyway, this may or may not be of any help to you, but I thought I'd make it in case it is. Stay healthy, stay safe.